Me mo bi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Enra ena yede bra say MPP for security director. The head of the National Signals Bureau. Eduahin. Nensemo eba abonten a na ohwe in 927 water sika allegedly wewia ene nsensem. And you see one thing about democracy, whether we like it or not, and they say obi kokokum nipa kra na e wo say nipa kro no ye man kwan man fa ne lawyer e man kokoka na asem e man tre ne nsem mu nti nipa kro no ye chi ne se wabokro no kra say de nkra na o lawyers e be yeden e be kasa ma no nti no ende papa no lawyers e de nsem aba betuja. I want us to go through on also the lawyers e kan for fairness sake yentie the lawyers e kan what you say. I'm seeing a lot of people are reacting to their lawyers now kana wo mobile lawyers nechi, but who the yentie their lawyers ne so kan na ye won send bi wo ho a na ye de atuja amamo. And then first time I subscribe na click the notification bell. So now yenko o say in the matter of the violation of the fundamental human rights of Kwabena Eduahin and Angela Ejei Boateng and the Attorney General's reset version of the rule of law. Enti straight ahead no lawyers no eka say Kwabena Eduahin ya yeka se we sika yi Attorney General no are violating the right. Lawyers ne ka say Attorney General no omwembu nem emra eso ede na oye ya wo ka say Attorney General embu mbra so. O say we act as lawyers for Kwabena Eduahin and Angela J. Boateng. Mid-morning today, the 24th day of March 2025, the learned Attorney General of the realm, Honorable Dr. Dominic Akurutinga Ayini, in his reset version of the rule of law and romancing the press, pronounced our clients guilty of state looting in a court of public opinion and cheapened the press conference by saying our clients are still being investigated by the Economic and Organized Crime Unit, (YOCO). Also, the learned Attorney General has been a distinguished lecturer of law, and we cannot fathom why he would use the power of the press rather than his advocacy at the bar to feed the general public with his prejudicial and skewed information, which he unprofessionally called evidence, to poison our clients against the general public and by extension the entire world. Now, the first two paragraphs in Samuel Walker trying to use some innuendos and what I say and where's be Walker's attorney basically some more person can say Attorney General no chantro at womuni paneso. The Attorney General Shada Babijina Ghana for him say or more clients kron for entron Attorney General no watcher as Samuel Walker no basically the entire Walker's Attorney General ni chantro or say the power to investigate any Ghanaian for alleged criminal offences has not party colours. It is a painstaking exercise to ensure that the rights of citizens are not abused and their personalities rubbished by those who wield the powers of the state to conduct the sacred exercise. All professional investigations and not party investigations are devoid of razzmatazz and propaganda. The suspect, who is the subject matter of the investigation, should not be disgraced before the assemblage of the so-called facts, which could tilt into making him an accused person. Suspects are not accused persons until they clinically put together investigations. Investigations will graduate into a docket after the suspect is formally charged. Also, when a suspect is being investigated, he is entitled to bail for the simple reason that the investigating body cannot treat him as an individual already pronounced guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. The criminal jurisprudence, the world over frowns upon inquiry bail being used as an emotive weapon of punishment against persons who may be potentially innocent after adduction of evidence, not in the New Patriot Party headquarters, but before a court of competent jurisdiction. Now, utie the first page, say they are just raising issues to the fact that Attorney General Babonte be ye press conference. Almost say Attorney General press conference no egu omu nipa nanimu ase. Because embra ba Ghana, embra wa Ghana trese so obi kokokum nipa kra na ye de no court ansana yaba be kasa ho. But you see, the truth of the matter is that Attorney General came to brief Ghanaians, and that's what the Attorney General did. The Attorney General knew say Assembly be court, and so he didn't come out to pronounce say nipa kra no wo ye say. Attorney General called the person suspect. As far as the Attorney General has called the person suspect, that should be it. The entire man nipa kra no suspect, and our trim say the man nipa kra no suspect. They say ye hu ne say na account sika to muni. Ye hu ne say edan ya wakwakoto ni. Ye hu ne say oka se wakoto mfidie 7 million. Company na oka se wakoto mfidie 7 million wo mo hono. Company na confirm say ye 1.5 million pe no munyaye. Sika nkai no ye hu ye no na da ne account mu ono koto dan eyese. But oye suspect. That's what the Attorney General said. And so if you want to speak, now about because Attorney General dey na why na so wo gu mo client ni mu asia. For me anyway. I say when the Attorney General or a prosecutor has assembled facts and not propaganda against a citizen of Ghana, the individual is then arraigned before a court of law. The charges are read against the accused, who may plead guilty, which opens the door for his conviction and sentence. When a plea of not guilty is entered for the accused, it kickstarts a criminal trial in which the Attorney General or his lawful representative leaves the realm of emotions and party frenzy to demonstrate through evidence why his fellow Ghanaian should be convicted on the account of a criminal offense duly committed. We need not stress that from the arrest all the way to the point of conviction, if ever, the accused person has a constitutional right to a lawyer of his choice. Archibald, one of the leading expositors of criminal law practice and evidence calls what is contained in the dossier as the theory of prosecution. We have underlined this kindergarten position of the law to expose the fact that when a case from the highest level of the Attorney General is determined in the court of public opinion, then the matter has degenerated from prosecution, which must not be dressed in NDC colors, to persecution, whose oxygen and immunity is politically induced and very much affront to the rule of law. With this as a prologue, we want to put the case of our client in context. Mr. Kwabena Eduahin cannot be called a common criminal, and neither his wife, Angela Ajay Boateng, proud to the sordid expose. Mr. Kwabena Eduahin was the immediate director of the National Signals Bureau and is a man who is networked internationally. His wife, Angela, has never been a woman of straw, and she is doing considerable good business. On Tuesday, the 20th day of March 2025, Mr. Kwabena Eduahin arrived at Kotoka International Airport on a British Airways flight from the United Kingdom. It is totally false that he flew economy class to disguise himself, as the Attorney General was strenuously projecting it to be. Our client was in the business class, a fact which is easily verifiable. It beggars belief that a criminal should be audacious enough to fly out of the jurisdiction through Kotoka International Airport, a security area, and return on his own free will to Accra, while the criminal routes off the Togo and Ivory Coast borders, whilst the criminal rights of the Togo and Ivory Coast borders are the safe options available to him. Obviously, the Attorney General is using a different eyeglass, and we cannot fault him for that. Into basically, now someone more can say, the entire woman enipa wonya kromfo ene say obi a woye kromfo e ba ne say no free Ghana wosanso ye na adwen say wo ba Ghana na nko opeso oba na nka bi obekọ Togo ana obekọ Ivory Coast di entia into that fact entia tre say wonya kromfo. Basically the lawyers ne nsem mo kan no o say on his arrival at the airport, Mr. Kwabena Eduahin reclined at the commercially important persons lounge. A ruse was created that there were immigration issues with his passport, and he was wanted at the open place where the passengers of all aircraft landing at Kotoka International Airport check out. Our law-abiding client got into that open space only to be handcuffed for public ridicule and ferried to the Yoko cells where he is still languishing. So I say omunipa eba besi Ghana no and immigration no etre say oh he has issues with the passport inti wonko baby foforo okọ hwa na ekoko che no ena yegu nenimu ase ena ende aye ka say odaso edem. Also the next day Friday, the 21st day of March 2025, his wife was walked to the premises of Ryoko to find out how her husband was doing, and she was immediately arrested. Rehearsed criminals do not voluntarily go to the place of their arrest. They run away and become fugitives from justice. Again, when the undertaking is persecution, it is easy to confuse decent and well-cultured Ghanaians from common criminals. As of today, Angela has been incarcerated by Yoko on the account of what the Attorney General is using to contaminate our clients in the press and unprofessionally expose them to public opprobrium. Tasemo mo kan say ne yere ne so o te say ya chi ni kunu no and at the next day wo ye say wo ko hwehwe ni kunu oduwa no no so ye chi ne say wono so abokro no na asemo a wo kan say lawyer na asemo a wo kan so no de ohun kromfo a ono ankasa ye nante akoba bi say ye nkonko chi ne da nti ye no hu nti say ne yere nankasa de ne peko ho nti no tre say ne yere ne enye kromfo. Okay, I say it is difficult to come to the terms with the fact that the Attorney General is comfortable with the press where there is no proof beyond reasonable doubt. The Attorney General has become the press prosecutor of our client, a judge in his own court, while simultaneously asserting that he's still investigating the case. This is counterintuitive. We do not believe a change of government through constitutional means should degenerate into a reset version of rule of law in which the press is fed with a pathetic, one-sided and untested position by the leader of the bar. This unmitigated prejudice with defamatory consequences will be prosecuted in the appropriate forum. Also, we are shocked that at the press conference, the Attorney General was even entertaining himself with issues of plea bargaining when the statements of the suspects are yet to be taken. It was even laughable that the age of Angela was lost on the Attorney General given the fact that Yoko has seized her British passport, which obviously had her biodata. It is unfortunate that the wealth of citizens of Ghanaians with constitutional rights is being advised to the whole world until Yoko finds a correlation between the proceeds of the alleged crime and the property acquisitions. Kwabena became the deputy director of the National Signal Bureau in 2016 during the NDC time in government. The NPP in power did not jettison his competences and vast experience in the field. Kwabena has been doing business well before he was appointed by the NPP government to the high office of director, NSB. Also, it is very unprofessional to assert that the properties purportedly owned by our clients were acquired after 2018 when there is no verification that they belong to our clients using criminal proceeds from their work. With respect, this disjointed logic exposes the bad faith and desperate attempts to give political color to the Attorney General's own confession that investigations are still ongoing. The Attorney General's appetite to eat uncooked meals is amazing. I say, today, Ghana is at the crime scene and the constitution has been turned upside down and everybody can be guilty before the evidence. Democracy is sitting upside down. I was very much surprised this morning when our clients were denied the right to cancel by Yoko with a reset constitution that I could not have the confidentiality of talking to my client and giving them the appropriate legal advice prior to interrogation unless an official of Yoko listens to the lawyer-client solemn engagement. This reset rule of law defies my modest 31 years of legal practice. In today's Ghana, the Attorney General is acutely aware he has violated the rights of our clients relating to the not more than 48-hour incarceration constitutional prescription and tells the whole world that he can play with the bail issues by releasing our clients and rearresting them. We are seeing through the dastardly agenda that let us in a court of public opinion besmear Kwabena and Angela with filth and guilt, so that in the event of a court of law, equity and good conscience should find the case of the Attorney General as propaganda and not evidence. We can feed frenzy to the citizenry that, yes, indeed, it is in the NPP judiciary that is setting the innocent free. We will pursue justice for our clients. We are undoubted. Our sense of law has been violated today. And to plagiarize the words of American presidents, democracy is too strong for our learned Attorney General. Yours faithfully, Samuel Atachia, Inti Atachia, who I don't know whether he's still, I think the former MP, Atachia, and Awatro letter ever. Mr. Atachia, some of the punctuations they had dream pound. Anyway, Inti Atachia Nakasa, he's the lawyer for these people. And I say, or they Ninsem Ababe Tuja. Nankameno, minim say be what the evidence be better say, oh, your clients no, a entro or buy no, on tour dying, on tour die. But basically, now some more can say, or more clients no, or your businessman, no nisika de da, inti, dientiana, or dinisika quacoto daya, ye casaho, dientiana Attorney General, yes, sir. Nankamedium, if he says, yes, send ya ya boss $7 million. Obeba bontiaba be kaso ye ntro ye client no yenso ye evidence ni 7 million nkonko ye bebia sika bia nkonko pie ni account mu bia what ya say na nke fi so no so be sa because ene na Attorney General no ba be ye but utie nsem oba be kan ya ane ene de ntia na waba bontie di kan ya ba be kasa asem na ye court asem de ntia na waba bontie ba be kan nsem na tre Ghana for na ke ni kwan sa Attorney General no ba be kan nsem na tre Ghana for because ene akwa ye no sisi ano Ghana for ehun se ono ne client ne di bone even before going to court ene ko he. That's basically what he's saying. Montreal mo adwo comment box ni mo. But that's it.